plays two of his best, like Jhin and Misfortune, and it's not necessarily going to be the case anymore here. He doesn't have the Lucian anymore. MF is gone. Jhin is gone. So we'll see what he ends up getting in this draft, as guess what? They're going to ban the Caitlyn first. So
interesting.
That's a surprise to me.
Yeah, banning it against Peyz is kind of the odd one there, as I would have expected T1 to be the one taking that one away.
Is he angling for a bit of a weaker side AD carry here that scales better rather than the aggressor? Is the question we're going to find out.
Yeah, I'm feeling Yunara in our future.
I think so. With this Caitlyn ban, it's kind of... It feels like it's inevitable and Fearless with how powerful that champion is right now. And with some of the great tools gone, like the Bard is gone, you're not laning into Karma no matter what. So we'll see. As the Orianna gets taken away from Zeka, Ryze removed here. Pantheon is still available, actually, in Game 3 of this Fearless series.
Yeah, it feels like that is probably the big pick here, but remember, Rumble is a huge problem. And the Ashe and Aurora were also banned every single time from T1 as well, but they had first pick, right? So they could be a little bit more liberal with where their bans went, and they are still banning the Ashe, as they just seem to not care about this Rumble situation. It's Zeus. They know that Zeus is pretty good at the Rumble, and they're going to ban the Ambessa to say, we're going to pick Rumble.
And this means that if they do ban the Rumble, then the Aurora is going over to Zeka. And in Game 3, I feel like it's kind of first pickable, you know?
I would agree.
It's so incredibly strong in lane. And it has been Zeka's, one of his best picks, in my mind, is tied together Hanwha Life eSports' aggression so incredibly well. But they're considering other options here. The Jayce, with no Sion, no Yorick. And it is Zeus, by the way.
Yeah, everything is being taken away that is normally a pick into the Jayce.
Gwen is gone, even though it struggles in the Jayce early. It can be a big side lane threat that the Jayce struggles to deal with.
All right. What is your response here, Doran, who cannot go towards his Ambessa either, which he has really just liked in general?
They're looking to take the Aurora here, and this has not been one of Faker's best, but it kind of feels like maybe Doran's going to be playing it this time around.
Yep.
So let's see what we'll see second here, because you don't get to pick, you only get to pick half of your bottom duo if you do lock it here. Pantheon will be the option. I actually really like this because it's strong into the Jayce that's trying to apply that pressure topside.
Well, that is going to be the lock-in here. Kanavi, just scrolling through some options. Yeah, Bel'Veth is probably it. That's what I assume.
Think so. I'm going to guess no on that one. I think Vi is more likely.
Oh, that's a bit of a shame.
But Zeka can play Ahri with this, and suddenly you have quite the formidable mid-jungle synergy there.
That is a good point. And Ahri stocks are also kind of rising here with, 6 mid laners banned away both fearlessly and in the first 6 bans. The Akali, another option as well. Zeka, I have heard, is pretty good.
I like the Ahri more. They're both champions in the selector, so you can kind of scroll between them pretty easily. They will opt for the Ahri, even though the Zeka's Akali is good. Tough into the Aurora pick.
And now Faker might let us know exactly where this Aurora is going. Still feel like it might be his choice into the mid lane.
I think it kind of has to be a lock here that's going to tell us our solo lanes because of the lane setup here for Hanwha Life eSports. You're not going to get half of your bottom duo.
Wow, that's a Xerath.
We've seen Faker pull this one out before.
Not sure about that one, but instead the K'Sante is going to be a Gragas.
Okay, Faker's Gragas, by the way, if it is in his hands, because this could go several ways here, has been incredible. It has been very successful. He was the one who brought Gragas back into mid. So I feel like you probably want to play this top into Jayce with the Aurora in the mid lane. Faker hasn't looked as strong on the pick, so
I don't know whether
I don't want to say I know for sure where these are going just yet.
Yeah, I don't really want to play Gragas into Ahri ever, is my first thought, but
he's got the sustain into the electrocutes and stuff. Like, it's not unplayable.
Yep.
It's an interesting thought, but again, probably going top lane.
Weirder things have certainly happened.
The Lulu ban here feels incredibly strong. And, with T1 having pick priority, it would have been taken, I think, by them. So they have to ban it in Hanwha Life's case, even though it's actually probably stronger for their comp so far. So Nami and Lulu gone. Those shenanigans.
And I do
Summer Valdez smiling.
Yep, yeah, exactly. One last ban for T1. Keria's having a giggle. The Sivir will be taken away, as we are well and truly at the end of the AD carry pool as well.
That looked like Keria was like, I know Guma wants to play this, and I'm just not going to let him. Kind of knowing look, potentially. Yep. Nico also banned away, so we're really thinned out in terms of range supports that can push a lane.
7 supports have been banned away, both with Fearless and the bans so far. So maybe that rel that kind of fits HLE's draft.
Keria is just, he's giving knowing looks everywhere, as it looks like maybe it could even be a
Gragas support. Gragas support. Gragas Yasuo bottom lane.
I mean, it could be Pantheon support.
Hey, true. As Keria's putting his jacket back on, I don't know what that means, but
I think it means he's playing Poppy in the bottom lane blind, and that's never a fun time.
True.
All right, let's see what Guma's got here for this bottom lane. Nautilus is going to come out here first, which is really flexible in this draft. They have so much dive. Like, it's single target blow up is out of control good. And he swaps to an old favorite for a moment.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We know what Guma's playing now.
Yeah, the Xayah Rakan certainly going to be a option here, as Gumayusi does really like playing the Xayah.
The last time he played it, it was just a thing of beauty. His callbacks of his feathers were incredible. This has been always one of his best. He doesn't play it all the time, but when he does,
yeah,
you can bet you're going to enjoy it.
What kind of player sees Poppy and is like, give me the Rakan?
Only delight.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of insane. I don't know whether I would ever recommend it, as Peyz, looking for the corky, wants to play with a little bit more of that early oomph.
There's so much power in this bottom lane. So insanely strong.
Yep, seems pretty happy to do it as well. And never mind, it's going to be a Kai'Sa. Okay, we have got some diving happening here on T1 side. And they can create some real disruption with this composition, both with the Poppy and with the Gragas.
Gragas into Jayce has always been a matchup that if you have even a little bit of jungle attention is so incredibly powerful, and you could just absorb the pressure really well with the sustain that Gragas is going to provide you. And your teamfight disruption later on is incredible. It can really mess up the kind of combos that Hanwha Life eSports are trying to set up. For example, if Vi ults, let's say, Peyz, and then Zeka wants to go in and follow up, the cask can just deny that follow-up and split the team in half. Same with the Rakan. Also, you could just body slam the Rakan while he's trying to come in if you're in the right position to peel. But it also works incredibly well with the aggressive plays they can look for with Pantheon. But I think in terms of ease of execution, in terms of meta, like both, I think you have half a meta draft and half insane comfort with the Rakan lane there with Guma's Xayah. If I had to stake everything on this final game, I would give the edge to Hanwha Life eSports. I think the draft just has so many strong parts. It's so known, and it suits their playstyle so incredibly well. This, a little bit more freestyle, let's say, from T1. Worked out for them with the Aphelios, but we'll see what happens in Game 3.
I do want to say, Doran's Gragas is a certain kind of counter
MVP
into Zeus himself. We'll see whether he can get that monkey off his back as we get onto the Rift for game number 3. All right, Chichik Lolpark kind of popping off here as the fans make their presence known. And here we are, onto the Rift for the 3rd game of this series. Our first game 3 of round robin 2, Wolf. And we could be on to a full streak of 3 gamers if we keep this up, as this was also the first of the round.
Electrocuting everywhere.
Yep, certainly a lot of that. As this has been a bit of an Achilles heel for Faker so far this season, as the Aurora hasn't really found too much success for T1.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been players like Chovy and Zeka on the other side who have really taken this pick and made it look like it is Z tier, as it is so strong in so many different matchups, and especially with an aggressive jungler like Kanavi, like Canyon, can be really, really strong. See what Oner can get done with this Pantheon. There's a lot of power in both of these mid-jungle duos here between these two squads. Mentioned Doran. I joked about the MVP robbing because it was Peyz who, on a different team now, stole that away from him. And there might have been someone on the space who voted a certain way that made us very upset and had a very long argument at the after party after that finals about But it was a good time, and Doran, I think, got his credit where it was due. Normally, it's Doran against Zayas in these big best-of-5s, where he has gotten the better of Zayas in matchups like this. Best-of-3, we'll see what happens here in this third game, because this series has been absolutely out of control awesome. I mean, I don't think we can really overstate how awesome the team fighting has been, the macro, some of the aggressive calls, even in Game 2, the ending of it was nearly HLE just winning it and taking the 2-0.
And especially when it came to the first game with just how crazy some of the moves were on either side. As HLE taking a bit of control here towards the bottom side, 2-0 for Gumayusi so far on the year. And in fact, HLE are just undefeated on all of these champions. They haven't been defeated all that often outside of against T1 at the very beginning of the season.
Well, this is the stats that just popped up there is kind of what I was saying when I say with HLE, it's very known what they're doing here. And for T1, a little bit more flexing.
Doran's Gragas is really good.
Yes.
As we know.
Not this season yet. It's his first time this season. There's like a lot of these picks for T1, but historically.
And it was also one of the picks that, when he was back on Gen G, was a really big point, as Kanavi is going aggressive, ladies and gentlemen, to the surprise of no one. And Oner taking a lot of damage. Faker making his way over the charm!
The charm!
Catches him! Even after the flash, as now Faker might be dead as well. Kanavi letting his fists do the talking, but it is going to be Faker that's able to walk away. Still first blood going over to HLE.
Doran, though, in trouble.
Yeah, Zayas looking for... Never mind, he's walking past the lane. Sometimes that is something you want to do.
Doran did not have really any mana there, but
Zayas also without very much health.
Looks like Doran's actually even going to stop his back here and catch this whole wave. So what Zayas was trying to do there doesn't end up getting the insane value he was hoping for.
Oh. Yeah, Keria going in, and Peyz without very much health or mana. Obviously, this Poppy lane is going to struggle a little bit, and the Rakan doesn't really add too much.
No.
But when it is alongside Xayah, you do add that little bit of extra.
The Corki would have been
the extra synergy.
The Corki would have been so much better for the laning phase alone.
Yeah.
All right, look, we got to talk about Zeka just kind of skirting through here and getting this flash charm angle. Watch this. Watch Zeka. My God, despite the flash.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I guess he could have flashed into the pit, but
not a whole lot of great angles for Oner to get out there, but very unfortunate that even after the flash, he was still in line with the charm.
Very few things happen where you flash an ability and get hit by it anyways.
Yeah.
It's a straight line situation, though. Zeka so aggressive with that play.
And Zeus being so aggressive here on this top side as well. Has already taken one plate, is ahead by 450 gold at about that many seconds in the game. Which is just kind of ridiculous. Does have to flash, though, as Faker was rotating up, and they had Scuttle Vision.
Faker still has flash, and Zeka does not because of the previous play, which is in part why they could not kill Faker.
Yep. I also just want to apologize for not being able to count seconds very well, as Faker's caught by a charm. The Electrocute comes on through as well, as Delight looking for an angle. Will not find it.
It's going to leave the supports to, or rather, Keria, the support here, to follow his opposition to the mid lane, and that means that we're going to have to leave the AD carries alone. And so this early call buy makes a lot of sense for Peyz. Doran's got ult.
Yeah, he's going to be able to find it there as well. Just delivers Zeus over to his former jungler, and down he will go. The answering kill there for T1. Looking real nice in the top lane.
Really impressive timing for that gank from Oner. And Doran doesn't miss. No Zeus, no flash from the previous roam. So get the good punish there. And we're tied up one apiece. Now, Hanwha Life eSports have a pretty significant lead with the laning phase with the CS advantages, but at least Doran and Oner will get that kill back, make it a little closer.
Yep. I think the fact that Kanavi picks up first blood as well, sometimes not being able to give that over to your mid laner in that little skirmish in the 2v2 can be a problem, but when Kanavi's ahead, I feel like HLE do find themselves with a whole lot more opportunities. The Cease and Desist comes down and Faker just slips between the worlds.
Yeah, but
able to get himself out.
Prio for HLE, and Oner cannot get in.
Yeah, not going to happen. Does want to go for an opportunistic steal there. Voidseek was also in the air, but Smite is just too good.
I think without... Okay, we're going to watch this play first, though. Doran gets the slow, which makes it easier to hit this cask, knowing that Zeus doesn't have flash.
Nicer indeed.
I think that the bait of the Aurora ultimate there from Kanavi is huge, as we're going to have another 2v2 down here.
Yeah, Delight running real fast after the heal, but is otherwise unable to find too much more.
If Faker had his ult in that fight, maybe that was the only way they could have turned it, but he just denies it straight up on that dragon. HLE get first dragon, have a lead really everywhere on the map right now. Like you mentioned with the Kanavi First Blood, and it's so much comfort. The comp is simple. See if T1 can bounce back here as their comp has not really fully come online yet. Keria?
Yeah, ulti comes on forward as Gumayusi holds on to the Featherstorm, and Oner is going to show up, but just a little bit too late. I think the birthday cake was already gone.
Yeah, significantly late, I would say, on that one.
Yeah.
It's almost like he didn't trust that Keria was going to hit that, and then he was like, Keria was like, why didn't you come? And he's like, okay, fine. But it was definitely a little bit past the timing.
Yeah, showed up to the birthday party and had to ask whether there's anything left in the fridge, which is always an unfortunate time to arrive. As the cask not quite going to work out as well as it did last time, but there weren't too many friends joining as Kanavi hiding in the brush. And will get spotted here by Keria. Gets the ward down first.
Zeka is coming over here first with Faker TPs, and they decide to back away. I thought there was maybe an angle for Zeka to slide in there. His flash isn't quite up yet, just a few seconds away.
Man, Keria is going to be so annoying in this game as Kanavi wants to start fights with the Vault Breaker, and it just becomes so hard when Keria is always there standing in front. As Charm connects here from Zeka very nicely. We'll find the true damage on that Orb of Deception.
That is probably just 3 grubs because of it, because there's just no way Faker with half health, I mean, his ult is just coming online now, could even contest, and he's in fact just kind of back. Okay, he stops his back. I was going to say, there's a big wave coming his way, so does decide to get money.
Yeah, good body slam to interrupt to the skies from Zeus, as another Charm lands from Zeka. Man, they are magnetized in this game.
He's very good at Ahri, as Doran is very low.
Yeah, Keria coming on over here, and that means that Delight and Kanavi going to be having a weird time. As in goes Zeka, finds the Charm one more time onto Oner, who does have the Aegis set up, but that is still going to be the kill to come on forward. They look to take down Zeus, and they will succeed on that front, but Zeka is still just dancing around them. The minions get in the way, though, and that means that it is only the 1-for-1 trade. Probably not the greatest for HLE, as they did invest a lot into that top lane.
I think they wanted more than that. They wanted to get Doran, and it looked for sure like they would, but they ran out of time. Guma, though, and this is kind of the HLE way, is 4 people are diving somewhere, and Guma's getting money on the other side. This just happens almost every HLE game this entire year, even in some of their less great games earlier on in LCK Cup. But Doran takes a ton of damage. Kanavi is the one who absorbs the stun here, and they turn this on to the Pantheon, but Oner's shield actually buys just a few extra seconds, and then this play here from Keria allows them to trade this one back, and with the turret spinning, there's just not enough damage here for Zeka. The minions deny him that follow-up second kill onto Doran. But like I said, you know, it's not just that. A lot of resources are spent, but Guma gets plate money. Guma gets Essence Reaver.
Yeah, he's very, very strong at this point in time. Zeus as well is unfortunately not Nogari, who would be very, very happy with a 0-2-0 scoreline. Zeus is not as used to it, as he is generally just dominating in any matchup on the Jayce, unless it's into Doran's Gragas in the past.
Yeah.
So it looks like those demons are still there.
It is Demon Week.
True.
And there is an unkillable demon.
There is the Demon King in that mid lane.
He's 0 deaths, actually, right now, currently. He's
so
really
possibly unkillable.
Yeah.
Just don't look at the stats for game 1. And that is all going to hold true.
Or his Aurora stats. But yeah, we'll see what he does, because this is still early days. It's a 2,000 gold lead, though. And this Kai'Sa is not great in lane, significantly behind. Has not been able to impact any team fights just yet, but there is a strong mid-game potentially here for T1. Let's see if they can set up a fight for this dragon, because HLE getting double dragon here with this comp and the lead they have would be probably a bridge too far. I just don't know if they can wrestle Prio back, because look at Kanavi's position. Zeka pushes Faker away. Oner has ult, but he's backing, and it just feels like this is going to be a free dragon here. There's a little bit of time for them to come over and try to muster something here, but it just feels too late. He gets Sundered Sky. He has ult. 3 seconds on dragon.
Pickup. Like, getting that Sundered Sky was huge. For Oner, I just don't know whether they're quite going to be there in time. As there's the Vault Breaker flash right into the ulti, and Zeka is able to pick that one up. Now Oner turns up, but a little late, and in goes Delight to lock him down. Grand entrance and a dead Pantheon, and a double kill for Zeka on his Ahri, debut champion.
Double dragon, double kill! We're gonna get double dragon off of this, and They didn't give Faker time to react. They didn't give Faker time to flash. Fantastic charged Q flash from Kanavi. Hits him first, and they just line up the CC. And then Oner is just a donation. It's his second Pantheon ult that comes way too late to impact the fight. And by the time he gets there, Faker is dead, and he is just a sitting duck to be CC'd for the next cooldown for Zeka, who picks up his boots, transforms tier 3 with his role quest completed here with the dominance we've seen. Look at his advantage in quest over Faker's right now. Kind of obscene.
Yeah.
And it's Ocean Soul, so that's good for T1, because at least it means the Double Dragon means less. But I feel like that's where the good news ends right now.
It is problematic. The first item buy also coming through for Zeka is going to make things hard as Keria moves on up just to back up his mid laner.
He gets
going to keep him alive.
Malignance and the tier 3 boots here, and he's got 6 stacks of Darksteel as Faker is sitting on a Hextech Alternator. As you can see in that exchange, did not really trade anything back towards Zeka. And it might just mean that for the rest of this game, it's tough for Faker to actually have an impact in sides. He's 1,500 gold behind.
Yeah, and there's also that big lead for Gumayusi as well. And Kanavi in a really good spot in this game. Once again, 100% kill contribution.
Faker has flash.
He goes in. He is able to go between the worlds, get himself out of there. Kanavi, without his ultimate up and available, is just happy to grab the cooldown of that ulti. Is now Zeus wanted to lay the hammer down, but is not going to be able to get in range of Doran. Just a little lithe as the rotund man in the top lane.
Yeah, a little excited big man, but nothing going to come of it. As no ult for Oner still. I mean, if that charm for Zeka connects while Faker's trying to go between the worlds and he dies there, but I don't want to say this game is over, but it certainly would have been if he dies there. Doesn't have to flash. Doran is ultless, so we're going to see some action up here in the top lane. As T1 know they need to kind of hover around this potentially big bag of money Gragas as Keria is up there.
Oh dear, there's another charm connecting. Is Zeka going to go all in for this one? Just avoiding all of the buttons that Faker presses. There's the flash in, finds the Orb of Deception and gets the reset to get the solo kill. And 4-0-1 on the Ahri.
Okay, Delight's going in here as well. Keria isolated. He is Poppy, so it looks like he might be okay. But this might just be first brick as well. HLE have that push with Zeka in the bottom lane. He could TP up to the top side too if they want to try to fight before he gets there. Like, he has so much agency in this game right now. He's not going to stick to the turret here. Doesn't have full information on where Oner could be.
He's going back. I think
he realizes now that he can.
As Kanavi was looking to go in, cease and desist is available. I mean, he's going to press that button if he does find it. There's the Vault Breaker.
Peyz is dead, I think.
Over to Peyz, and he does just get ulted. And Gumayusi, can he actually find the kill here? Great shield to come on through, and Oner is able to pick up the overextended buy. Peyz played that right on the edge.
Yeah, so close to the edge. Doesn't flash. I mean,
that's great.
Just absolute resilience. And it looks like Oner's fixed his pocket watch as he's on time this time. And that's going to be a second turret to go down here, but still, at least they get something back. Finally, a punish. It just feels at this point too little too late. As we'll go back to this play here with control vision. Faker checks it and loses his life for it.
And Zeka knew exactly where he was, able to pick up the reset, and then gets level 11 off that play as well. As now, Kanavi with his slight overextension, you could say.
I mean, it looks guaranteed.
Yeah, look at how low he goes. And Killer Instinct, then the barrier, just to make sure, and then just has some honey fruit.
Guma didn't flash. I think a lot of Xayahs there see blood in the water and flash for it as...
Ooh, we do have the vision toggled. Zeus, a little overextended, you could say, as he goes down very, very low. Zeka now just looking for an angle, but Zeus is still alive. How is he still alive? That is illegal, as now Keria tries to get the Poppycopter going, and it is not going to get off the ground, and Faker once again finds himself in an awkward spot. The weirding is named correctly, and Zeka is going to lock down the kill.
I mean, I have the answer for why he's alive. Look at Faker's items. I mean, he just has the cannon now, but he didn't have it moments before. He is just so far behind. Hide on Bush is his nickname, but...
Oh dear, there's the quickness on to Oner, who does put up the Aegis, but I feel like maybe he's going to be in trouble. Never mind, he will survive as Peyz
wrong side
trying to fight off Zeus here, who just goes to the skies and should be able to take him down. However, Peyz stands his ground and then just gets shot in the face.
Yeah, it's Shojin's first for Zeus, by the way.
Battle Jayce.
He is really, I mean, he is battling, as you can see. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything left in this game here for T1. What was an exciting series may end with a whimper. Now look at Faker, he hits everything. But the Charm buys some space, even between the worlds, but he just doesn't do damage.
Oh, the party cast!
Misses. I actually didn't quite see that.
Neither did I.
Alive.
Oh,
because that would have been Xayah's dead for sure, but then Faker wants to try to catch him, but they know where he is. I believe that's Faker's third death on this Aurora this game. Didn't have the cannon, has it now, but also here, Xayah just is like, well, I have vision in the mid-brush, so I know you didn't go left. So there's only one place you could be. Very good at playing the follow the cup game in this one.
Yeah, the Shock Blast was just so anticlimactic. It looked like Peyz was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to play the game, and then dead. It's kind of how it worked. As Faker finally gets his boots upgraded, and unfortunately is behind 3,300 gold to the Ahri with 5-0-2 as far as that scoreline. As Zeus is just going to try and clear out this wave here. Great hammer boot to deny Oner's engage as the Void Seeker comes on through. There's a killer instinct for Peyz, and he's able to help lock this one down. In the meantime, HLE are on this bottom side of the map. Zeka does get cast, but seems like he doesn't even really notice or care. Doran able to tank a whole bunch as Zeka just barely surviving, but the ramped up turret is going to be problematic. Gumayusi, hello? That is a Rift Herald just paying a visit to this bottom lane. Great double knock up there from Keria as the Featherstorm is going to find zero value at all, and Faker comes in looking to see if he can take down his former AD carry, and there he will go. Keria finds a heroic charge, and Kanavi should be dead as well, and that's Oner locking that one up. This game may still be going.
Yeah, bounty gold for Peyz on the top side here, picks up a ton of plates. Peyz is like side lane Kai'Sa in this game. Hasn't been spent any time in the mid lane, and this could not have gone better for T1. Like, absolutely insane what they're able to get off of this play. So this is the initial play on Zeus. Love the hammer here to buy the space. Turret is ramping. Oner's got a flash away, and then the follow-up from Peyz is enough to get the kill. So he gets all of that money before he gets the bounty later on. And then here,
the silliness.
Yeah, Doran casts, by the way, very early. Doesn't matter. Zeka's like, I got him, I got him. He goes, get him. Damn it, just die, Doran. And he does. And then Kuma's like, remember me?
Yeah.
Your former partner. And Keria's like, yeah, I kind of do. Like, you're in the wrong spot. I'm going to ult you. You're between turrets. You didn't actually avoid my ult with your ult, and now you're in the wrong spot and you're dead.
And he ulted, like, he heralded through the T1 base.
Yeah. It was almost epic, and then it was very silly. It was his first death of the game, and Keria's ult was not avoided by his ult, and they got some shutdowns. They got the bounty gold on the turret. However, still 4,000 gold behind. Still soul point here for HLE, even though it's an Ocean Soul. It's going to take a little bit more shenanigans from HLE, I think, for T1 to come back, or maybe some clutch plays from Peyz, who takes a gold lead with the massive amount of gold he got from killing Zeus and that turret on the top side.
And we've also seen Kai'Sa's really make things happen after picking up mid-game swings, right? And that's exactly what has happened here. Item number 3 coming in very, very soon. A huge spike for this Kai'Sa. And so I think that HLE needs to kind of tidy it up. No more weird journeys in Heralds, as obviously that is not going to happen again.
Yeah, I mean, that
vibe of
playing with your food,
don't do it.
Yeah, playing with your food probably not necessary here against a world-class, defending world championship T1.
Yeah.
Maybe
even if you do have one of the players from that team.
True, but he was the one who was doing the silliness the most.
He was, but he was also the MVP. So I mean, it's like swings and roundabouts. Okay, Zeka is just going to clear out this bottom wave.
So Baron is up, but neither of these teams are in a position where they can start it just yet. Faker is still massively far behind, is desperately trying to get a second item, whereas Zeka's been able to get a Verdant Barrier.
Okay.
He has 10 stacks Dark Seal. He's pretty huge. Faker is not going to be doing the main carrying in this game unless something goes crazy wrong for HLE. But I think for T1 right now, what you need to do is wait for HLE to do something that's a little bit too aggressive. Do something that's a little bit too risky and be ready to pounce, right? With your Pantheon, Gragas, and Peyz's Kai'Sa. And yes, Faker can layer a lot of burst damage on top of that. But it should not be Faker trying to kill somebody in the side. It should not be trying to play through Faker's burst because he frankly just doesn't have it right now. A lot of the time with Aurora, you're like, okay, I found Guma. Maybe I can force him to ult with like a weirding Q combo. Faker probably dies if he tries to do that in this game. So play through the other parts until Faker can be relevant later on. Play slow. This game is still winnable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's only a 4,000 gold lead at 20-plus minutes that is certainly not insurmountable, as the Void Seeker will not find. Almost found, but did not find.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't quite locate.
No. And the Baron, up and available. 30 seconds on the Ocean Soul for HLE, though. And I think with a composition that can be a little bit tricksy, right, in what HLE have put together, the Ocean Soul could find a little more value.
I feel like it's great for T1 if they could get it. It buys them, I mean, even individual Ocean Dragons, it could buy them a little bit of space inside. So Doran's very sustainable, but denying the Soul is huge, and stopping the spawn of the Elder before HLE have the Giga lead. Because the lead is pretty, it was Giga, it dropped a little bit. They're close to getting another one if they can get a pick potentially on the Doran. He avoids the charm. Yeah. Muramana here is transformed for Zeus now. This Jayce is very relevant in this upcoming fight.
Let's see whether they can find some poke, as that first Shock Blast does go a little bit wide, but HLE just wasting no time. They will start off this Dragon immediately.
So much control here to HLE. Peyz needs to find an angle. I think they're just going to give...
Yeah, that is just going to be the Drake down in the blink of an eye. HLE just utilizing all of that control of this river in order to grab that, and now they're looking to move towards the Baron as well. And honestly, starting up the Baron and then just moving away when you've got Ocean Soul is so much easier.
Delight has Cleanse and Flash. He gets to dictate the pace of this next fight. And it looks like he might want to do it a little early.
In they go. Kanavi finds the cease and desist as they look to try and get on top of Faker. He goes between the worlds, though, to get himself out of there. And speaking of out of there, Kanavi is over that wall. And I swear, without Ocean Soul, he's dead.
Yeah, he's so incredibly low. He's going to need to eat some honey fruit, but they might be able to start this Baron now because Faker took so much damage. He has TP, but he's going to take a little while. They are a little bit slow on starting this, though. So I think setting the trap is the better option. They know they have vision control of Guma. Trying to bait a little bit, but I think they're not selling this very well, and I think T1 are just going to come over here and look to see if they can find a punish.
Yep, Kanavi was on that Baron, but it had not taken very much damage at all, as you were saying, and HLE will back away.
Plays like this could backfire for HLE. It's a great hop over the wall here from Faker. Like, he pulls Kanavi in. Kanavi goes incredibly low. Like I said, he barely survives, and you make a few mistakes like that, you're playing a little bit fast and loose trying to set up these Barons. Maybe T1 could get back in because punish play, like what we saw there potentially from T1, they didn't have the damage just yet. Faker just now getting his second item is maybe the dream scenario. Again, it's a dream right now. And maybe for T1 fans feeling like a nightmare as the Banshee's Veil is completed for Zeka. He is no joke in this game.
And the Infinity Edge was just done by Gumayusi. Yes, Nash's Tooth is there for Peyz, but I just don't think that it's going to be able to quite match.
They don't quite equivocate in terms of the damage power.
No, although, I mean, for Kai'Sa, it is a very, very good item. You get evolutions and stuff for it, and the W is going to be hurting, but just don't know. Zeka looking for an angle here as he does ult in. Catches Faker, even through the stealth, but Faker is able to flash his way out. Still has to invest a lot.
He doesn't have TP anymore, so he can't just teleport straight back to the fight. Zeus, by the way, he does.
Yeah, Zeka also looking for another angle. Man, I mean, after some very strange plays in the first two games, Zeka has really locked in for this
HLE
one.
Feel like they're a little bit confused on what they want to do in terms of starting the Baron, but also setting a trap. Like, Kanavi's like, we're doing Baron, and Delight is like, no, we're setting a trap. And you're selling the idea of the Baron so you can set that trap, but the follow-up wasn't there, so T1 kind of get away with losing most of Faker's health here, and the Baron is not started, and they buy more time. Like, the game continues. We're 3 minutes away from a potential Elder Steal that could miraculously get T1 back into this game. And at this point, it feels like that is the best possible scenario. Again, if somebody gets picked, if Peyz ends up getting on top of Gumayusi, they bait his ult out, there isn't any peel. Zeka goes in, tries to get a charm, and gets caught by the Poppy, something like that. I mean, there are ways for HLE to mess this up.
Oh, yeah. And it really does feel like this game is still very much up in the air, despite the fact that HLE have a 5,500 gold lead.
It's T1's comp just has so many ins. Like, if Keria ults 3 people off a Baron, you know, that could be it as well.
Yeah, lots of ins and also lots of get-outs for HLE. With the Poppycopter, the Cask, like things like this, there's so much disruption available.
This is a half-health Baron now. T1 are going to have to pull the trigger.
Yeah, Kanavi just here by himself, wanting to keep the Baron interested. The Baron definitely is interested, but we'll now reset finally.
This is such an HLE moment. They're like, we could just get Baron, but we want to kill those guys. So let's just drop the Baron and then try to kill them, and then they run away, and let's try to use the Baron to kill those guys again. It could have probably just killed the Baron.
I mean, the Jayce in the bottom lane is kind of what they were buying time for, as Gumayusi and Kanavi getting back on this Baron once again. Delight playing some defense, looking to try and keep them interested. Zeka doing the same thing.
A little bit rockier.
Once again, going to go wide.
A little bit rockier this time for HLE as T1 are grouped, and they're going to force the TP out of Zeus.
Yep, Banshee's Veil going to get popped there from Zeka, but they are staying on this Baron for now. Oner is over here. They get that vision that they were looking for. And there is Delight finding the quickness, but not exactly as much as he wants to. The Vi is evicted from the fight with the Featherstorm. Keeps Gumayusi alive, and they take down Peyz. There's the AD carry trade, though, as Faker gets into the backline, and it's Oner that takes matters into his own hands. Finally, it is Kanavi making his way back in, and there's another AD carry here for HLE, and his name is Zeus, and he's got a big cannon, and he's not afraid to use it. Quadra kill comes through for the Jayce, and they'll take a much better Baron this time around.
Keria, he has smite and a dream.
Oh my god, if he does this... No, he's not.
He's not even going to try. It's not worth it. There's no way.
I mean, surely it's worth it.
Yeah, nah.
Never mind. He's just going to play his battle pipes in base.
Watch Keria try to play this fight incredibly well. Like, he gets the knockaway of Kanavi, so now the Baron's off the table, and this burst from Peyz is there. But Zeka's charm. Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
He and Delight just say no. And then Faker just doesn't have the damage to clean up this fight, and they're so split. Poppy pushed into the bottom lane, and it's a kill there to go over onto the Pantheon, and Faker is just left isolated. You can see he can barely scratch the surface of these Fed HLE members. It's a quadra. I feel like Zeka did a lot of the heavy lifting there.
Yes,
but,
he did.
You know, Zeus was happy to kill the champions and pick up tons of money.
And
look, Zeka was already ahead enough.
Yeah, exactly. I think Zeus certainly needed the funds. As
Zeus is like, look, we can both be 3,000 gold ahead.
And he fully completes his more of Malmodius after that one as well. So, yeah, Zeus, problematic. 5 seconds until Elder Dragon as well. There is an Exodia on the table here.
We haven't talked about it, but you mentioned the Maw. There's 2 Maws here because there's just so much magic damage for T1. Well, so little if you look at the itemization for Faker comparatively, but they are, and I mean, for the Gragas as well, it's got Cosmic Drive and a Rod.
Yep.
They just can't hurt the HLE champions, and HLE, all they need to do now is either look for a turn or secure this Elder, and it feels like this game is won, but the base is still fully alive, right? There's no inhibitors. It's not been broken up at all. T1 are being incredibly resilient in this one. 8,000 gold behind.
Yeah, they are all grouped up as well as HLE looking for a pin, so they think they might have caught Doran, who goes down to 50%. HLE now closing in, and Doran's just dead. T1 not going for the re-engage.
They're going for the push in the bottom lane. They're going to open up the base here. They still have Baron for 90 more seconds. They might just be able to end off of this siege.
Yeah, and the Elder Dragon is still up and available. T1 just falling apart.
They used nothing to kill Doran, just raw damage.
Oh, great charm is going to get onto Oner here as the Featherstorm comes on forward. Between Worlds is decent as Keria goes in, but he's going to take the Death Chamber exit, and down will go the Aurora as well. Peyz is caught, and Oner is just going to go down in a blaze of glory as HLE finish the ace and get revenge against T1 as we start round 2 of LCK.
7-0-10, 17 out of 19 is Zeka's scoreline in the final game. They gave Kanavi the vibe, but maybe the bigger problem was the Ahri.
And honestly, I mean, we know that combo is absolutely devastating.